Hey YouTube, it's Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with another drum lesson. Today, what we're going to be talking about is how to split up your eighth notes between your ride cymbal hand and your hi-hat pedal foot. This is something, kind of a beat that I did in the song Road Less Traveled by Ronan Conroy. I'll post a link down below where you can hear the actual track. And I just thought it was something that's pretty cool. I like using a beat like this in something that is a kind of a mellower song, you know, and if you want to play on the ride cymbal, it's a way that you can break up just regular ride patterns. You can split them up. You can split them up between your, your ride and your hi-hat by just using your foot and your hand in combination, rather than doing something like this. You can have something like this. Now, the way to go about this, at least the way I learned this when I was first, getting these kind of beats together a long time ago, was basically I just practiced. First off, you need to get your hi-hat foot strong enough to be able to keep a steady rhythm. So that's where you're going to need to start. If you're not at that level yet, the best way to do this is just to basically keep eighth notes on your ride, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then also keep eighth notes on your hi-hat foot. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now this is not something that you would be playing that often in music, although some drummers do, but to me it's a little bit of an overkill. But that is a good place to start. Basically just getting your hi-hat foot, the pedal, getting used to keeping a tempo with that foot. The next step after that would be keeping the eighth notes on the ride, but then changing your right or your left foot, or whichever foot you have on the hi-hat, to just quarter notes. So something like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Then once you get the the quarter note patterns down on your left foot, then you start teaching yourself how to do an offbeat quarter note pattern. So that would be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So you see the difference there. I'm actually putting it on the ands now rather than the numbers. So before it was like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But then on the offbeat, it's going to be on the and. So it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4. Then finally, after you have that down and that's very solid, what you're going to want to do is take out the ands, the 1 and 2 and just the ands. Remove the ands from your right hand. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now it does take a little bit of practice, and when you first start doing it, it's going to feel a little bit awkward. But that all gets easier as time goes. The bass drum pattern, I'm kind of fluctuating a little bit, just sort of playing whatever I feel. You can keep it much simpler than that with what you're doing. You can just keep a pattern like this to start off with: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then as you get better at it, you can start increasing, increasing the complexity of the bass drum and adding in other things like little tom hits and things like that. For example, like this. And you get the idea. Basically, you could take this idea. Well, okay. So one of the common things that you'll hear that hi-hat pattern on is jazz. And basically, this might be where I even, where this idea spawned from for me. If I were to do a jazz ride and hi-hat pattern, it would be something like this. And you can hear how the hi-hat is on the ands, just like I was doing in the beat, except I'm not doing the triplet pattern on the ride in my beat. I'm just doing a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if you move this over to the hi-hat, you'll get something that's pretty cool as well, which is an open hi-hat on all the numbers. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And my hi-hat didn't quite trigger correctly a couple times there, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So anyway, this is just something I thought was pretty cool. And in the song where I use it, I switch between doing that in the verses, and then I go to full eighth notes on the ride during the choruses. So it's like basically I'm switching like this. All right, so that's today's drum lesson. Hopefully you guys learned something, and if you did, you can let me know by leaving a comment or subscribing down below. Also, check out the link to the original song, Road Less Traveled by Ronan Conroy, and I'm going to be performing coming up here 2019. You might be watching this video in the future, I don't know. October 13th of 2019 at Arlene's Grocery in Manhattan with Ronan, and we'll be playing this song. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great day.